Might give this a second. I want to stew in my juices a little bit. I just heard the video of local resident Webster Barnaby displaying his ignorance with pompous aplomb. Oh, that sounded so nice. And I didn't even plan it. But things are starting to come a little bit more naturally. He is an asshole. I mean, he is a sad piece of shit. And I could debate him without insulting him and debate his points, every single point he makes, and show him how he is dead wrong on this. He doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about. Again, my friend, actually, not friend because I really don't know him, but I do listen to him, Farron Cousins. He has a YouTube channel called Ring of Fire. He lives on the west side of Florida, Central Florida, around the Tampa Bay area. He's a professional lawyer. His wife is a teacher. I don't really know. That's about as much as I know. But he's a progressive of sorts, I suppose. I don't really. I'll listen to him and the things that he says, and you can get a little tacky, pimping his puppy for fucking contributions. But teach their own. And I'm not going to get down on his shit for doing that, even though it might sound like I just did. No, this is just very, very disturbing. And it really proves the point of the things that I've been talking about is that, we have let these religious people who have been indoctrinated. Indoctrination is a very real thing. I was in it, but it was not effective with me because I had been moved around too much. And so I was able to sort of, avoid the sort of incessant repetition of these cycles of stimulus and response and reward, and this positive reinforcement, this feel good positive reinforcement and gifting that is constantly done in the religious Christians traditions. It's all a fucking bribe. They should be ashamed of themselves, but they're not. And that's because nobody has ever stood up to them and told them. And the one thing that they need to understand is that the points that they are trying to argue are inarguable and that they are not authorities on the shit that they're talking about. And the only reason that they think they're authority is because they have achieved economic success. It has nothing to do with their knowledge. They feel privileged and they feel entitled to basically use their pompous, arrogant, ignorant bullshit and try to shoehorn society into their false notions of what fucking morality is and how it needs to be managed. I know I didn't really give that any of that what I'm talking to as far as the title. I said that the destruction of the individual and the creation of the asshole, and that's really what it's been when you think about it. Because when you do indoctrinate people, how do you indoctrinate people? Very easy. When did they start telling children to recite the Pledge of Allegiance in classrooms? Well, whenever they did, that's when they started indoctrinating. And when did they add God to the Pledge of Allegiance. Was it 50s? Because they want to fight the godless communists. And this is just a bunch of greedy pieces of shit that want to make people believe that if they have the chance to become rich, like they have the same chance of buying the lottery and winning it, then they live in a fucking great place. Well, people have taken that bait, the line, and the sinker all the fucking way. And it's really sad, because I see it in people's faces every day, because I watch them as they go in and out of a gas station starting their day. And the way they start it, obese people eating pizza at 5 o'clock in the morning, people who are morbidly obese drinking soda and eating pizza at 5 o'clock in the morning, and watching videos of pizza being made. Now, I'm not just getting down on obesity here, but it's just an example. This is a very, 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 very broken society. And they expect you to fend for yourself. But there's been, if you stop and think about how much pressure they put on an individual, it's just complete nonsense. I actually I hate John F. Kennedy. What did he say? Ask not what your country can do for you, but what you can do for your country. Fuck you, John. Seriously, Jack. Hit the road, Jack. And don't you fucking come back. No more. That's bullshit. That is complete and utter oligarchical bullshit. Everybody wants something from the individual. Everybody, campaign contribution, a fucking, a monthly fee for video camera services, and all this fucking fear mongering that goes around, and people retreating to their fucking holes. So sad. So fucking sad. But everybody's not retreating. They're dealing with it in different ways. But, there's a lot of the things that we do that are self-defeating. But, and kind of going back to my point, the individual is not supposed to prop up society. But that seems to be what society thinks. That the individual is supposed to prop up society. Nonsense. We are social animals, and what we have are very greedy social animals that don't want to share with anybody. And so they just fucking create havoc and shit. There's no reason for things to be the way they are right now. No reason whatsoever, except for the fact that there are a lot of greedy people. And there are greedy people among us. There are greedy people right next door. Now, greed can be measured in different ways. But everybody wants something from the individual, but that's not the way it's supposed to be. And that's the way everybody is working. They're all working for private interests in the government. This is not policy making. We should be suing Ron DeSantis and Rick Scott and Marco Rubio and Corey Mills. We should be suing them for not. Does the oath of office mean anything? Does it mean anything? What does it mean? Because they're not fucking doing it if it does mean what it says their oath of office says. They're not doing it. They're just doing it for one particular group, for their network. But they're not thinking about everybody. It doesn't fucking trickle down. People need help this nation economically is anchored in weapons manufacturing and distribution and sales globally. I'm not talking about the defense budget. I'm talking about the manufacturers that sell to the Defense Department and that whole network of good old boys and cronies that sit on their fat asses comfortably in their little Mount Olympus. I'm going to stop right now. Just some things to chew on. What the fuck? Just remember, the past is an illusion, the present is confusion, and the future a decision. Take care. Stay safe.